My child, my beloved, I've been reaching out to your heart for such a long time. Hear me now. Your soul recognizes my voice. You've sensed it before, late in the stillness of night, when the world was asleep and your heart felt weary. That gentle tug in your chest, the quiet voice whispering, "Please hold on." That was me. I've never left your side. Before I go any further, take a breath and let your spirit open wide. You must stay connected with me until the very end. Even a moment of turning away or skipping ahead could cause something sacred to slip through your grasp. Not because God desires to punish you, but because time is slipping away. Heaven has been softly calling your name over and over again. And now, this is the final call. My dearest one, pay close attention. Something was destined for you before you ever came into this world, a blessing so immense that if it enters your life, your entire story will be rewritten. Your name will rise in honor. Your sorrow will be washed away. Your storms will finally calm. But there's a darkness trying to pull you away from this. My child, I cannot bear to watch you miss what is rightfully yours. I cannot keep quiet any longer. There was a gathering in the heavens. I stood before the throne. I said your name aloud. I pleaded for more time, more compassion, more grace. But heaven said, "We've called to them again and again. Why do they not respond?" My beloved, I pleaded on your behalf. I wept before the highest one because I understand your heart. I've seen your pain. I know the battles you faced in silence, and heaven agreed to grant you one last opportunity. That time is now. Before we continue, my child, there's something urgent I must tell you. There are forces around you that are desperate for you to miss this blessing. They want your focus elsewhere. They want you to scroll past. They want you to shut this out, because the moment you hear what I'm about to say, their grip on you will break permanently. Do not move. Do not look away. Stay here with me, my beloved. God's hand has been upon your life for a long time. That hand has shielded you from harm, from betrayal, from heartbreak that cut deeper than words can say. But that covering, that divine shield, is weakening. Not because God is abandoning you, but because your spirit is growing weary. You've been under pressure. You've shed tears in silence. You've started to question your value. You've felt like you've been overlooked. The enemy wants you to believe you're alone so that you'll give up praying, stop hoping, and lose faith, because the miracle coming your way requires your belief to stay alive. And now, my child, all of heaven is watching your next few moments with deep attention, because in just 5 minutes your spiritual identity will either be lifted higher than ever or detached from a blessing that was meant to impact generations. Don't be afraid. Don't retreat. Just stay and listen. My beloved, I haven't left. I never will. But you must remain with me until the final word of this message. There's something you must see, something that had been hidden from your view, a truth that will help you understand why everything has felt so heavy and what lies ahead in your destiny. My child, are you prepared? Say yes within your heart, because I am about to speak the truth your soul has longed to hear for years. My beloved, I'm about to take you deeper now. If your surroundings are noisy, if your thoughts are wandering, if your focus is drifting, gather yourself, be still, because this is where the truth begins to rise. This is where the veil starts to lift. There's something you haven't fully grasped about your journey, something that reveals why those you trusted brought the deepest hurt, why love left behind wounds, why promises shattered, why blessings came near but slipped away just before you could embrace them. It wasn't because you lacked worth. It wasn't that God overlooked you. It was because your spirit was being refined for a calling far greater than most ever receive. My child, listen not just with ears, but with your entire soul. There's a sacred reason why you were made to walk through seasons of loneliness. Loneliness doesn't mean emptiness, it's preparation. When God sets someone apart for an extraordinary purpose, He first removes them from distractions so they learn to lean solely on the divine, not the world. The world didn't destroy you, it trained you. But now there's a new danger. Your heart feels exhausted. Your faith feels thin. Your soul is nearing the edge of surrender. And this is precisely the moment when the enemy tries to strike your name from your blessing. That's why time is urgent. That's why heaven is crying out for you. That's the reason I've come to you now. My beloved, heaven has shown me something. A truth involving someone who's very close to you. Someone who's been drawing energy from your spirit. Someone who recognizes your light. They won't admit it, but they notice the shine upon you. And that radiance unsettles them because it makes them feel diminished. This individual smiles outwardly but carries jealousy like a constant shadow. They speak gently, but inside they are bitter toward your divine path. They never genuinely rejoice in your successes. They fall silent when you win. They pose as a guide, yet they misdirect you. They appear to care, but they deplete your strength. You've always sensed something was off. You lacked evidence, only an inner sense, that nudge. That was my whisper. You heard it, yet questioned yourself. Now I say it plainly. This person's involvement is one of the reasons heaven is reconsidering your blessing. Not because God wishes to remove it, but because He does not pour favor into a place where betrayal quietly sits. Your gift is holy. It must not fall into the grip of envy. My child, I must show you something now. Stay with me. Your journey is about to shift in ways beyond your imagination. The blessing ahead isn't just about improving your days. It's going to transform your identity. It will elevate your reputation. It will unseal doors that have remained shut for years. It will bring sincere souls into your life, people who will love you purely. It will lift the weight you carry even behind your smile. But you must be awake enough to see who is true and who is pretending. What comes next in your life requires vision, true vision. Not softness, not tolerance, not delay, clarity. My beloved, I see how deeply tired your spirit has become. You love with intensity. You trust with openness. You search for goodness in everyone, and this is why your heart has suffered. Your love is sincere in a world that often is not. Heaven is not asking you to stop loving. It is asking you to stop offering that love to those who consume it rather than cherish it. Because the blessing cannot reach you until your environment is cleansed. My child, you are now standing at a crossroads of timelines. One leads toward your destiny, the other toward postponement. You've been granted 5 minutes of grace in this spiritual space, not 5 ordinary minutes, but divine ones. Meaning you must awaken this instant. You must listen right now. You must rise immediately. Your name is glowing in the heavens, but that glow is flickering, not fading, flickering, which means the promise is still yours, but your soul must rise up and claim it before the darkness tries to steal it. My beloved, I am still right here. I'm not abandoning you. But this revelation must go further. There's something deeper that your spirit needs to understand about your destiny, your mission, and a divine sign that is soon going to reveal itself to you. My beloved, remain near. Do not let your mind drift away. Right now, everything is rearranging, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. You've sensed the changes lately. You've noticed your soul becoming more sensitive. You've picked up on symbols, repetitions, unexpected thoughts, and strange visions. You've felt that something is drawing near, something large, mysterious, powerful. That wasn't just your imagination, it was preparation. Your spirit has been hearing the steps of destiny coming closer. But before that purpose fully arrives, the old must fall away. That is why your life has recently felt uncertain, unbalanced, confusing. The former chapter is dissolving. The familiar doors are shutting, not as punishment, but because they no longer serve the version of you that is beginning to bloom. My child, what you're evolving into is far greater than you have yet perceived. You weren't created for a small existence. There's something magnificent within you, quiet, patient, buried like a seed beneath soil. And now, heaven has decided that seed must rise. But understand this. When a seed begins to break open, it often looks like destruction. It appears as pain. It feels like loss. It seems like falling apart. But really, your soul is opening so that your light can expand. Nothing has been lost. Nothing was in vain. Nothing has been denied. Every step was preparation. Even the tears were nurturing the future. My beloved, your heart has grown weary because you've been fighting invisible battles. You've been guarding your soul from silent jealousy, hidden bitterness, cruel words disguised as jokes, memories that tried to haunt you, fears that crept in to shake you. And still, you didn't collapse. Even on your lowest day, you still rose with the next sunrise. Even when you felt disconnected, you kept going. Even when your heart was shattered, you kept it beating. That resilience is the reason heaven continues to call your name. But strength by itself won't be sufficient for what lies ahead. You must now awaken to your divine mission. Let me speak to you clearly. There is nothing ordinary about you. Your life has never been random. Your pain wasn't without reason. Your struggles weren't without purpose. You carry a sacred mark, a divine calling, a spiritual responsibility. And the blessing destined for you is tied to this very mission. This is why the adversary sought to drain you. If your soul is weary, you can't walk in your calling. If your faith becomes dull, you can't embrace the promise. If your heart is closed, you can't give love in the way heaven intended. My child, you've been under spiritual strain because you are on the edge of a divine breakthrough. There is something heaven desires to release into your life right now, and once it arrives, your life will not resemble what it once was. But my beloved, you must learn how to read the signs. You asked for divine direction, you sought understanding, you cried out for a signal, and heaven has responded. The sign will come as a moment that feels oddly familiar, something you may have dreamt of or imagined without explanation. It will come without warning, a conversation, a word, an opportunity, a decision, an inner knowing. Your soul will recognize it instantly. Your heart will whisper, "This is the moment." But you must know this. When that sign comes, hesitation will come at a cost. You will need to act with courage, without delay, without minimizing yourself. Because the blessing that's arriving is not just a reward, it is a gateway that won't reopen twice. My beloved, I've seen it all. I witnessed the battles you endured alone. I saw the nights you dried your own tears. I saw you extend forgiveness to those who didn't deserve it. I saw you pour love into hands that offered you nothing in return. I saw how much you bore without demanding explanation, and heaven has witnessed it too. The page is turning now. Yet, there is still one truth you must know before your blessing can fully manifest. It concerns your identity, your real identity, the one you've misplaced, the one life tried to suppress, the one now rising again. My beloved, what I'm about to reveal may not register in your mind immediately, but your spirit will know it as truth. From the moment your soul came into being, even before your first breath, your name was spoken in the heavens, not as a common spirit, not as just another life passing through, but as one who was chosen. Chosen ones are not picked for comfort, they're chosen for purpose. Their path isn't easy, but it is powerful. The assignment upon your life has always been greater than what surrounded you. That's why you never felt like you belonged. That's why even as a child you felt different. That's why your heart always perceived more, felt more, and understood more. You were always meant to journey a path others couldn't see. But when a soul is marked, darkness always attempts to interfere. The closer the breakthrough, the heavier the resistance. And you, my beloved, have not just been battling for your happiness, but for your identity. Not just your joy or peace or hopes, but your understanding of who you truly are. Each heartbreak you experienced chipped away at your belief in yourself. Every betrayal made you doubt your worth. Every time someone walked away, it made you feel unworthy of love. Every letdown cast doubt on your future, and gradually, quietly, you began to forget your truth. But heaven never did. You are not fragile. You are not forgotten. You are not lagging behind. You are not ruined. You are in transformation. You are stepping into the identity that was always yours, the identity the world tried to silence, the identity your adversaries tried to distort, the identity your wounds tried to bury. Hear this closely now. You are someone who carries a spiritual influence that others sense, even when you say nothing. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your energy awakens those around you. Your spirit unsettles darkness. You've questioned why some are jealous of you without cause, why some disapprove of you for no reason, why some observe you, mimic you, mirror you, yet harbor resentment toward you. It's because they notice something in you they can't quite define, a radiance they don't possess, a resilience they never developed, a purpose they weren't chosen to carry. Your spirit unsettles their comfort. But my beloved, you weren't sent here to shrink so others feel secure. You were sent to rise, and that elevation starts now. But listen carefully. This next rise begins within your soul before it reflects in your life. Your external world can't shift until your inner awareness evolves. You need to remember, you are not meant to follow. You are not meant to chase affection. You are not here to beg for approval. You do not need to prove your worth. Your presence alone testifies to it. When heaven selects you, no person can revoke that calling, but your own choices can delay its arrival. And that's why this moment carries so much weight. From here, two paths open before you. One leads you to continue bearing the burden of others' opinions, expectations, and emotional needs, leaving you cycling through the same patterns again and again. The other invites you into your divine self to release what's been draining your essence and to claim the promise that was always etched into your destiny. The blessing is ready. The transformation is prepared. Heaven stands in position. But, my beloved, you must also align yourself. To receive what lies ahead, your spirit must choose. A single decision will sever the repetitive cycle once and for all. If you're ready to know that choice, the step that will open the gate, the shift that will dissolve every block, the turning point that will draw your name back into the divine light, my beloved, ready your heart. Because what comes next is the moment where destiny either bends toward you or passes by. Listen gently. Don't hurry past these words. Let them root themselves within you. The blessing marked for you is not ordinary. It's not modest. It's not small. It is life-altering. It will transform you completely, from within to beyond. It will touch your relationships, your wealth, your peace of mind, your family, your well-being, and your identity. It is the kind of blessing that reconfigures your entire timeline, but such a gift cannot be poured into a heart still clinging to what is quietly wounding it. And this, my beloved, is the choice. You must choose not to return to the spaces where your spirit feels diminished, not to the people who drain your energy, not to the patterns that deaden your emotions, not to the memories that imprison you in the past, not to environments that restrict your expansion, not to the internal voice that insists you're not enough. This is not just a decision made by your thoughts. It's a decision born from your soul. Because your spirit has been burdened with weight that was never meant to be yours. Someone you have loved, or perhaps still do, has been feeding off your inner light. They didn't set out to break you, but they never learned how to cherish you. They desired your presence, but not your evolution. They embraced your warmth, but resisted your ascent. They accepted your love, but feared your wings. Your spirit already knows this. You felt it each time you dimmed your brightness so they wouldn't leave. Every time you suppressed your desires just to keep things calm. Every time you silenced your truth just to avoid conflict. And with every compromise, your blessing inched further away. Because your promise cannot dwell in a place where your soul is withering.